more note I wanted to bring up about the Niners because we talked about this before the season, and we got some pushback. I forget what my guy's name was, but pushing back about the offensive line and all that good stuff. You and I talked about it. The O-line to me is a big question mark for this football team, especially the interior offensive line. And we saw yesterday already, Ramie, and it's not like the Chicago Bears have the greatest pass rush in the history of the world. And already you saw some breakdowns up front. Nick Wagner from ESPN tweeted out, the Bears did not blitz on any of his 34 dropbacks.
Not one blitz.
Not a single blitz. Lance is the 7th quarterback in the last 15 years to drop back to pass 30-plus times and not face a blitz. Quarterbacks in those situations are 1 and 6. And it leads to what we were talking about last segment with Lance and what Jalen Johnson said in the postgame. They forced him to play quarterback. They did not feel like they needed to blitz, that they needed to get pressure on him. They wanted him to read the defense and understand what was happening in front of him and then make the throws consistently. And he wasn't able to do that. You also added this note, which I thought was great. This was also from Wagner yesterday. Pass block win rate numbers, okay? This is how good your offensive linemen do against the pass rush. The win rate. Spencer Burford had 96.2%. That was 15th best among guards. Aaron Banks ranked 55th out of 61 guards. Jake Brendel ranked 20th out of 30 centers. Trent Williams ranked 36th. So even Trent didn't have a great win rate yesterday. 36 out of 61 tackles. And Mike McGlinchey was 41st out of 61 tackles yesterday. So when you look at the pass block win rate numbers, it tells you what you saw yesterday was legit. This offensive line struggled.
Out of all those, I mean, obviously, 55th out of 61 guards for Banks, not good.
No.
That's not where you want to be.
Maybe he was upset because he watched Notre Dame on Saturday.
But Trent Williams, man, you said Trey Lance was mid yesterday. Trent Williams was literally actually below average for tackles in week 1. And that's a guy. And Nick, these are the things that when a rookie, for lack of a better term, I know he's not a rookie, but when a first-year starter quarterback is going through the growing pains that we all know he's going to go through, any reasonable person knows he's going to go through, you can't have the breakdowns in penalties and discipline like you had.
Yep.
You can't have guys that are supposed to be the best at their positions and positions that are crucial to this team and to Trey Lance and his development, like Trent Williams, playing mediocre against bad football teams too. Like, these are the things you need to prop up Trey Lance when he's not having his greatest Sunday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, David Neal, YouTube says, seems like after the first 10 to 15 plays, the Niners offense becomes very average. Well, of course, we all know you script. A lot of teams script the first 10 to 15 plays. I thought they went into that game saying we're going to run the football. And as soon as Elijah Mitchell got hurt, they just could not consistently run the football. Let's jump to the Raiders. Scattles and Ramie, Sactown Sports. Raiders hung around in the game yesterday against the Chargers. They had no good right to. I mean, Derek Carr was not good. And I've talked about Derek Carr. I've been at the front of the line believing in this guy. I believe he's a top, 10 to 15 quarterback, somewhere in that range. But yesterday he was not good enough. Bad decisions, bad throws, and he knew it. Here he was in the postgame.
We did too many good things. I was way too aggressive. I came in with a very aggressive mindset, and especially with all the weapons we have and all that kind of stuff. And that's on me. That's decisions, being way too aggressive in certain moments. And on the one to Tay in the end zone, he beat his guy. I went and threw it, and the guy just, as I threw it, fell off of the other. I mean, that kind of crap is going to happen sometimes. But I can make a better throw, maybe. Trying to be better there. But I think we showed signs of doing some stuff really well. But it's on me whenever I'm trying to be too aggressive, force it to Waller down the middle, trying to bomb it to Tay, Hunter trying to jam it in there to him for a couple yards. I mean, just throw it away, and that's stuff that I will learn from him. I'll do better for our team.
3 picks from Carr.
That you don't expect.
No.
That and you won't win any game where he throws 3 interceptions. Like I was just, Derek Carr is almost the opposite of what I was just saying with Trey Lance. That there are weaknesses elsewhere, specifically the offensive line. And there might be weeks where, and the defense, I mean, for going against Justin Herbert and that Chargers offense that's pretty high powered and has some weapons, defense held up their own yesterday. But there'll be weeks where the defense doesn't hold up their own. You're going to have to win shootouts.
Yep.
Derek Carr is almost there to prop up the holes and the weaknesses that Raiders roster has, and he did not do that yesterday. He added to the problem.
And I give credit to the defense. They came up with 4 straight stops in that second half. Justin Herbert was having himself a day. That dude is crazy good. He's just crazy good. He made about 5 or 6, oh my goodness, type of throws during that game yesterday. But they came up with 4 straight stops. And, the offense just could not finish drives. And Carr gave the ball right back once or twice. And so it was a bad game for Carr. He needs to play better. He knows it. And just like the Niners, they had offensive line issues. And we've talked about it, Ramie. Same thing with this football team. And when you look to Sean Reed from The Athletic tweeted out, they had 3 different O-line combinations yesterday. First game of the season, and they're rolling out 3 different combinations.
I couldn't believe that. That's preseason stuff, man.
They don't know who they can trust.
4 different O-line combinations from what I read. Well, we have different accounts. I have 4 different O-line combinations against the Chargers and 6 substitutions overall.
Well, I did pull the tweet at like 3:15.
Okay.
So there's another 45 minutes.
Yeah.
More than enough time to squeeze in another rotation.
And none due to injury.
No, it's just they don't know who they want up front protecting Derek Carr, which is insane. A couple of other things, I thought they waited way too long to get Josh Jacobs involved. He was MIA in the first half. Don't know why. When they gave him the football more in the second half, their offense played better. And I also thought Hunter Renfrow was MIA until about midway through the third quarter. McDaniels has to get everybody involved. Look, it's great that you have Devontae Adams. He's one of the best receivers in the league, arguably the best receiver in the league. But I thought Carr had tunnel vision, especially early on. The first 2 drives, it was Devontae Adams or bust.
That was something Aaron Rodgers was often accused of when he had Devontae Adams.
Find Renfrow. Give the ball to Jacobs. Find Waller. They took a little while to get the football to Waller. Find your other guys. Get everybody involved. And if you do that, I think you'll get even more from Adams. Chandler Jones was quiet. He was shut down by Rashawn Slater. And, Slater's one of the best tackles in football, so I get it. But Chandler Jones, he has to make plays for this defense to be good.
Dude, that offensive line, though, that's going to be a problem all year. And we talked on Friday about Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack.
Yep. Mack destroyed him.
That being the first test for this offensive line was a bad recipe. And that's exactly how it played out. You're not going to face bookend rush or pass rushers like that every week in the NFL. But man, you can't have 4 different combos on your offensive line in the regular season. That's stuff you're supposed to have figured out 2-3 weeks ago, man. You can't have that in the regular season and expect to be a productive offense consistently on any level.
Yeah, Mack predictably destroyed them.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he was a one-man band game changer out there.
Dude, that guy with Joey Bosa, I know he's getting up there in years and wasn't as productive as last year or 2 in Chicago, but with teams having to worry about Joey Bosa on the other side, Khalil Mack could be a big problem for teams this year.
Rich texts in, yes, I'm a huge Raider fan, and I was so disappointed yesterday. Carr looked like crap, and it was really predictable that they would burn our inexperienced offensive line the way they did. Yes, the offensive line issues, predictable. Derek Carr issues, turned the football over 3 times, 3 picks, not as predictable. He